What was your name, sir?
Demetrio.
Demetrio.
Demetrio, yes.
My name is Khaled.
Khaled,
Nice to meet you,
yes,
sir.
yes.
What's your where are you from?
Originally from Italy.
Italia. Wow, I love Italia. I love pizza.
Oh, yes.
Spaghetti and
Yeah, good. There is a good tradition of
Yeah,
food in Italy.
yeah,
Yes.
Anyways, so we're asking people today, do you believe in God?
No.
What is your belief?
In humanity, yes. Human values, yes.
So are you an atheist? Are you agnostic? What do you classify yourself
I would
as?
say an atheist, yes.
Atheist, okay.
Yeah.
So you believe there is no God?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, there is God, but not in the sense that religious people believe, right? Yeah.
Explain to me your belief. I want to understand exactly what you believe.
In the sense, I know that people, there is, that God exists as a cultural, historical phenomenon, yes. But, I do not believe in God.
But you don't believe there's a physical God that created everything?
Exactly, yes, yeah.
Okay.
I do not exist that there is a supernatural being that created things, yeah. Not in the sense, yes.
Okay. So, let me ask you a question then. Can something come from nothing?
I don't know. The question is not well posed, right? Yeah.
How would you pose that?
I mean,
like the backpack, the book, the phone.
What does it mean, something and nothing? I mean, for example, mathematically, right?
Yes.
+1 and -1, you add them up and they give you nothing, right? They give you 0, right? So
+1 and -1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, right? That you can add +1 and -1 and give you 0, which is nothing. Yeah. So in that sense, something.
And mathematics, which is conceptually.
Yeah.
I'm talking about physically.
Yeah.
Physically, in the physical realm.
Yeah.
Can something come from nothing?
Perhaps, yes.
Can you give us an example?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a physicist, but matter and antimatter, right? If you combine them together, they give you nothing, right?
Is antimatter a physical substance that you can touch and feel and see?
Because feeling and see are human based, right? I mean, but physically.
Of course, that's how we judge true, by our senses, right?
But there are things that we cannot sense and they're true, right? Yeah.
There's what?
There are things you cannot sense and they're true, right?
Okay, yes.
There are things you cannot see and
like what?
I mean, there are things that fall outside our visible range, right? Or things that we cannot hear and they're real, right?
Yeah, but you can eventually hear them.
You can use instruments.
You can use instruments, whatever, but my question is...
But there may be things that we cannot because we haven't yet thought about them, yeah.
My question is, even conceptually, can 0 + 0 + 0 ever give you 1?
No, but -1 + 1 give you 0. Right?
I understand, but -1 is not a concept in the physical realm. This is only a conceptual, something in the conceptual realm.
Yeah, exactly like God, right? God is also conceptual.
Yeah, this is your belief. I don't know.
You will not be able to prove, right, that there should exist something.
Let me try, Dimitri. Let me try.
I mean, people have tried for hundreds of years, thousands of years to prove the existence of God. It's not provable, right?
Let me ask you a question.
I mean, these are already well established. You cannot prove the existence.
Let me ask you a question, Dimitri. The universe. Yeah. How did it come into existence in your belief?
Okay, I don't know, right? But I mean, this is
like common sense. Like, what do you believe?
I know where you're going. You're going to say, okay. You're going to say, the universe should come from somewhere. So if they say...
Brother, I want to know your belief now. Don't tell me my belief. I want to know what you believe.
I have no belief about the existence of the universe.
Do you have an idea that you lean towards?
I mean, it's something that I accept. It is there, right? And I try to comprehend. Yeah, but I mean...
the beginning of it. Because my premise, brother... Let me finish. My premise is that the phone, the book, the clothes... They were created from something.
Yeah.
The universe, in turn, where did it come from? What is your belief on that?
But you see, I think your question is wrong.
Why?
Because you want to apply an analogy between an object...
No, the universe is something physical, right?
Yeah,
we can see it. We live in it, right?
Right, but you see...
This phone is physical.
But your analogy is not correct.
Why?
You want to make an analogy about an object that clearly is built. Right?
That is what?
Has been built, right?
Okay.
You already know, with something that clearly has not been built, right? So it's not the same, right?
The universe is made of parts, correct?
Yeah. So
the tree, the earth, the humans. So similarly, the phone is made up of parts: the screen, the case, the SIM card. So how is the analogy wrong?
The analogy is, you apply tools, right, to understand object that only give you partial understanding. Yeah, the phone, of course, is a composition of parts.
Okay.
The universe, what does it mean universe? It's everything that's outside.
Yeah,
right?
it's made of parts, correct?
Like,
for example, you can put in the universe, you can have a wife and have a kid. You made something, or you can take something out.
Okay. Let's suppose. Let's start from there. Yeah, there exists something that we call universe. Yeah.
Okay.
So what?
How did this physical thing that we see and touch and smell, how did it come about, in your belief?
I mean, I can say, for example, that it's there, right? And I do not question how it started, right? Yeah. But let's suppose that someone else will tell me,
No, what? Yeah, what? No, you go out through your day.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that there's a universe.
Yeah, and
you never question. No, where did this come from?
I do question, but I do not need to ask how it started, right? Because the question how it started made no sense there, right?
Why would it not make sense?
I mean, take for example the number 0, right? Can you ask how the number 0 started?
It's
a concept, right?
It's a concept.
Yeah, so that didn't start, right?
The 0.
It is a concept, right? Yeah. So that didn't start, right?
No, but the 0 is not the 0 is not a physical concept. The 0 is not a physical phenomena. It's a conceptual, abstractual thing. I'm saying, brother,
the same universe is a concept.
Brother Dimitri, listen. The phone.
Yeah.
Just try to follow me for 1 second. Okay. The phone. You tell me. This phone. Can it ever come about like poof in the air? Does that make sense? Never.
No. Yeah.
There's someone that designed, and there's someone that gathered, and there's someone that made.
Exactly. But the universe is not the same type of. The universe is a concept.
The universe
is a concept.
No, the universe is a physical phenomena that we can see, touch, smell, and feel.
No. These are the object in the universe, but the universe is a concept. Yeah.
How is the universe is the description of this world? It's a title about what everything is here.
The universe, in fact, as you exactly say, is a concept. The universe is the concept by which you describe all the things around you. Yeah.
Okay, the Earth, is the Earth a concept or is it physical?
Both, right? Yeah, is a concept.
No. Is the Earth something we can use our 5 senses to see and feel? Yeah. So where did the Earth come from? Brother,
I mean,
if you ask me, brother, listen. If you ask me where did the phone come from, I will tell you it came from
the same type of object. Of course,
it came from Apple, and there's a creator.
It's an object that's been built, right? Yeah, but
it's an object.
The Earth. Anyway, the Earth. We have some knowledge about how it came to be, right?
What do you believe?
It's not belief.
Brother, are you scared of telling me your belief? I just want to know what you believe.
I have no belief about the Earth. What I know, based on things I read and part experience, that the Earth evolved over time from something that it was before, and going back in time, I have no idea how it was before.
Okay, I want to go back to the example of the universe.
Yeah.
Let's
suppose. Okay. Just to make it short, because perhaps I know where you want to go. Let's suppose that I think that the universe has always been there forever, right?
Okay, I'll give you 3 options logically, and you can agree or disagree.
Yeah.
The universe, how it came about. Either
has always been there.
Either it's eternal, like how you're saying.
Let's suppose it's eternal. Yeah.
Or it started from something.
Okay. Yeah.
Or something created it. Either it started from nothing, or there was something before that created it. So you're saying that the universe is eternal, right?
Okay, let's suppose it's eternal.
Okay.
I can take.
Do you believe in the Big Bang?
It's not a belief, right? It's a model. I mean, it's not.
It's a theory, yes. But do you think that this is a true theory?
A theory and a belief are different things. A theory is
something. Yeah, but there are people that believe that the Big Bang is more than a theory.
It's not a belief.
Yeah, it's a theory.
No, it's a theory. Yeah.
No, I'm saying people believe in it.
Okay, you can.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you follow the Big Bang? Do you think that this is most likely the truth?
Believe. I mean, I found it a reason. I do not believe.
You found it reasonably enough to be true.
I find a useful model, right? Yeah.
So is that it? The Big Bang?
I found it. I mean, I find to be a useful model to explain something. Okay. Right? Yeah.
So you think that the universe is eternal, right?
I can, I don't
okay,
believe.
Brother, just give me your answer so I can go on my next point.
Yeah. Anyway, fine. Okay, I find. Okay. Let's say, I believe it is eternal. Yeah. Okay. I can believe
eternal. Eternal. Yeah. Agree with me or not? Means no beginning, no end, right? Eternal.
Okay, let's go with
if
this
the
assumption.
universe had a beginning, which the most people in the scientific world believe in, they believe that the Big Bang is the most reasonable, logical way to explain how the universe started, right?
Science do not use beliefs. Science doesn't use beliefs.
Brother, I didn't say science, brother. I said most people. I said most people in the scientific field believe and attribute the Big Bang to the most possible reason that the universe, or explanation that the universe started.
Most people in science use the theory of Big Bang, not the belief.
You as well follow this theory.
I mean, I accept this theory as reasonable. But
if there is a Big Bang, that means the universe started. Eternity can never start.
Okay, let's go to eternity. I mean, it's not really a start. I mean, nobody says that.
No, yes, they do. They say the Big Bang was a initial start point.
Yes, say a start point of the universe we see now. But some people in the theory also say, that the Big Bang could be one of a sequence of different other events.
But the question is that
so what?
If you want to say it goes back and back, we can say, does the universe expand? Do you agree that with expanding universe theory?
Apparently there is evidence. Yeah. I believe that. Yeah,
can eternity expand? If the universe is expanding, that means it's becoming bigger. Plus one, plus one, plus one.
Okay.
Can eternity be infinity plus one? Is that logical?
Yes, of course.
Infinity plus one is a real, logical, true concept?
Absolutely, yeah.
In the real world?
Absolutely, yeah.
How?
Infinity plus one is infinity, yeah.
Brother, it's like saying that infinity has no beginning and has no end.
Yeah.
How can you add one to it?
It's perfectly fine, yeah.
How? Explain that to us.
I mean, this is what mathematically you argue.
No, if there's no beginning and no end, it's just infinity.
Yeah. Mathematically, it makes perfect sense, yeah.
In the physical realm.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, how can you add to infinity? That's logically incoherent.
No, it is logically coherent.
How?
Yeah. I mean, what does it mean, infinity?
Infinity means no beginning, no end.
I mean, infinity means something that you cannot, that as large as it. I mean,
infinity means no beginning, no end. It's infinite.
Okay,
there's no finish. There's no start.
So if something doesn't end, you need another extra day. Yes, of course, right?
So if something's expanding,
if life is infinite, you add an extra day, it's still infinite, right?
How? An extra day
doesn't add anything, right? It still remains infinite.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's logically incoherent.
No, it's logically coherent.
If infinity means there's no end, adding one day presupposes
still makes no end, right?
Brother. Adding one day presupposes that
there is no end.
That before plus one there was an end.
No.
Because you're adding.
Not at all. Come
on,
I cannot.
Brother, do you follow my logic?
Calculus. I mean, infinity plus one.
Can infinity ever be plus one? Can you add to infinity and take away from infinity?
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change, right? Yeah. By definition.
Exactly.
Right?
So can you add to infinity?
Yeah.
Is that logical?
Yeah. You can add infinity plus
or is infinity infinite?
Infinity is infinite. Adding over nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you add one, remains infinite. Yeah. You can add one. Yes.
No. Adding one or subtracting one.
It remains infinite. Yeah.
Means do you agree with the expanding universe theory?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah,
if something, brother, please follow me. If something's expanding, that means this thing is limited. That means it hasn't reached its more expansive nature. You understand? So if something is reaching its potential, that means this thing is limited. It's not infinity. Do you follow, brother? Yes. Do you follow?
I mean, so what?
But brother, what?
I mean,
brother, so what?
Still infinity. Yeah, no.
Brother. Yeah. So what? This proves that it's infinite.
Infinite plus one is still infinite. Yeah, there may be more types of infinity. Yeah, this is fine. There is no
you
problem,
agree that infinite means no end and no beginning, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
If something's expanding, does that mean this thing is limited? Because it's expanding, it's adding to it, right?
Expanding? Not necessarily, right?
The universe is expanding, right?
Yeah.
That means the universe is limited. It has a circle. Imagine a big circle, and the circle's getting big. Look, a balloon, right? A balloon, it's expanding. That means it's getting bigger, right? So that means it cannot be infinite. You follow me?
But you were talking about time, not about science.
No,
right?
brother, I never said anything about time.
Okay, no, before you say, you think
No, I never said time. I said the physical universe. You follow me, right?
Yeah, physical. Okay, perhaps it's true. I don't know.
Okay, brother.
It could be.
I'm trying to get to a point.
Could be that it's growing in size. Yeah, yes.
Okay, if something's growing in size, it means it cannot be infinite. Because
in
infinite.
size. No. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We agree. Thank God, Dimitri. Let me shake your hand.
Okay. No.
Good.
Could be they have a funny size. Yeah.
Listen,
so what? Yeah.
listen,
so,
Dimitri.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
you.
no,
I like you.
yes.
You remind me of my grandfather. I swear. Like I feel.
Anyway,
I feel a connection with you.
Let's get to the point.
Let me get to the next point.
Yeah.
So if the universe is not infinite,
and
what's the other option? Did it come from nothing?
But listen, I mean, we already know whether you want to go to say that.
Brother, please don't tell me what I'm going to tell you.
All right.
Did the universe now come from nothing? Is that conceptually, logically true?
Could be, yeah. If it depends what you mean by nothing.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Nothing is the absence of everything. That's what nothing is.
Could be. Yeah.
Okay. If that could be, you need to give me an example of our natural physical realm that something came from nothing. Can you do that?
I think, there are experiments where they show that combine
like
matter and antimatter together, they give you nothing. Yeah, but you get nothing out of combination of two things.
To get nothing, you're referring to something, correct?
Yeah, you can.
It's
like I told you, -1 and +1 together they give you 0, right?
Yeah,
you can do that. Yeah.
No. But I'm talking about not abstractly, the physical realm. Can nothing?
I'll give you an example. Let's say that you are in debt by you owe $10, right?
You're what?
You owe $10 to someone, right?
Okay.
And then you gave $10, right?
Okay.
And you have nothing. When you add them up, you get nothing, right? Before you're in
brother,
debt of $10.
I said physically, brother.
They are physical things.
No, that's a conceptual transaction in the abstract.
No, it's not abstract.
Yes, it
it's
is.
Physical.
If I owe you $10, I give you $10 here, right?
And you're not.
And you tell me, no, Khalid, keep it with you. So I take it back.
You're hungry, right?
Yeah.
You eat. The sum of the two is nothing, right?
What?
You're hungry.
Yeah.
You eat.
Okay.
And when after you eat, you are at the level, 0 level, right?
No.
Yeah.
What are you adding into creation?
I mean, you gave me the example I gave you. Example is like money. Yeah, transaction, right? $10. You in debt of $10. Anyway, it is possible to get
brother.
The sum of
saying,
things. It is possible. Yeah, it is possible.
I agree that conceptually, mathematically, these transactional.
It is also possible
brother.
physically.
These equations, I agree with them. These are all abstract.
But
I'm saying in the physical world, where there's a tree and there's leaves and there's phones and there's books, can any of these come from zero? Is that conceptual?
Right. Anyway, to me it is.
Anyway, give me an example.
I gave you two
No,
examples.
you give me abstract examples.
Physical experiment.
Physical things.
Physical experiment when they combine matter and antimatter.
Yeah.
And they ended up combining.
So this is an experiment?
They made experiment, yes. Physical experiment showing that by combining two type of object you get nothing, yes.
Okay, was that my question?
Yes.
No.
You combine two physical
brother, I didn't
things
say that.
give you nothing.
I said, can a matter and with using your example, can a matter and an antimatter come from nothing?
Yes.
How?
This is a model. They say,
you're saying that the matter and that you're saying that there's two things. There's two physical things, right?
You can combine.
Brother, follow me.
Yeah.
You're saying there's two physical things.
Yeah.
There's a matter and there's an antimatter.
They combine.
When you combine them, they become nothing.
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying the opposite. From nothing can something come.
Yes, of course.
How?
You can take from nothing. You generate matter and antimatter.
How?
Apparently.
Even mathematically, abstractly, conceptually, 0 + 0 + 0 can never equal 1. You agree with that?
Yeah, because 0 equals 1 minus 1 plus 1 give you 0, right? I can take 0.
No. I said 0 + 0 + 0. Can that equal 1 or -1?
No.
It will always give you 0.
Okay, if you add up zeros, yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Similarly, in the physical realm.
Let's get to your point. I'm gonna. Okay.
Exactly.
Fine.
My point is, if the universe is not eternal because it's expanding and it had a big bang, whatever, that's wrong. The universe come from nothing. Something from nothing can never come because something, because nothing is the everything that's not there. Nothing is this absence of something and everything, right? The third option, which is the coherent, logical option, is that something comes from other things, from a creator. The phone,
but you see,
brother.
I tell you what.
But I didn't finish. Okay,
I know. I already knew that there was the point, but you see,
brother. But let me finish my point, please. Similarly, the universe is like all other physical objects. Like you came from your mother and your father, and his shirt came from the factory, and the phone came from Apple. There was a designer, there's a creator, there is these things that made it. Similarly, the universe must have a independent thing that started it and made it.
Must have. I mean, in your model, right?
Yeah.
You can create something out of a concept because God is a concept, right? God.
Wait. I need you to explain. What do you mean by that?
So, what you are proposing to me that is something which is whatever physical object is worth, was started from a creator, right?
Yeah, a creator, yes.
Yes, but the creator is not a physical object, it's a concept, right?
On whose belief?
I mean, what is a physical object by definition? Something you can measure with senses or with measurement tools, right?
Okay.
What is a physical object by definition?
Okay.
Do you agree that a physical object is something you can measure?
There is something there that needed to be there to create.
No. A physical object, by definition, right, is something that you can measure with sensors or senses, right?
Okay.
God is not a physical object, right?
On whose paradigm?
By definition.
I never said anything about God.
Or creator, whatever, right? I mean, you.
Yeah, I said that something cannot come from nothing. Something must come from something, right?
I'm fine. You go on with the assumption. Then how do you conclude that it should be? And then
it's not an assumption. You agree with it. Everyone agrees with that.
I don't. But anyway,
You agree that 0 plus 0 can equal 1?
No, but that doesn't imply.
So we agree.
But
the problem with adding a physical constraint to God, or like adding like a physical component to God.
Yeah, but brother, what's your name again? Khidr. The problem is I haven't spoken about God yet. I didn't say anything about God.
But you were saying that the
no, but
for something to appear, right? I mean, it is. I go with you up to this. I mean,
so we are on the same page up to now.
I follow you with this, setting, which is you say.
So would you let me finish then?
You say for a physical object to exist from nothing.
Yeah.
You say you in your opinion, this implies that should have been created, right?
Yes.
Okay, and this is the point that to me,
or derived from, yes,
something illogical, right?
Yeah.
Because before your analogy was that any physical object cannot come from nothing.
Yes.
Because there should be
there has
some
to be
other
there has to be a pre something to start it. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, and then, but
we're on the same page.
But to explain it, right? You say that there should be a creator, right?
Of course.
But this creator should not be a physical object, right?
Why not?
I mean,
who says I said it's physical or not physical? I haven't even got there yet.
Okay, okay. But anyway,
my point is, brother, we're on the same page now that everything physical, something had to come from something, and nothing cannot make something. We agree on that point.
No. You said that the nothing cannot give something, but I said that the something can come from nothing. Yeah.
I've never said that.
Oh, okay.
I said that the something must come from something, and nothing.
And the something can be nothing. Yeah. Yes, I told.
What do you mean that something can be nothing?
That the nothing can be equal to something, right? If you the positive.
No, I never said that. I said that's false.
Mm-hmm.
I said that. I said that's false.
Yeah, and I say that I follow your argument.
I say that everything in creation had a start.
You call it creation.
Yeah, this is creation. This is creation.
No, it's an object, right?
Yeah, they created it, right? It's title. It's labeled as a creation.
I mean, if you think the leaves are created, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
are generated.
Generated, created, whatever you like. It's all synonyms. It's all wordplay. My point is that the only logical option is that the universe was started from something, and that
I mean, it's only logical if you assume that it started from something. I can take it as it is, right? I don't need to give it a beginning, right, or an end, right? Yeah.
What do you mean?
I do not give to the universe a beginning and an end. But anyway, let's go.
No, that means you believe that means you believe the universe is eternal. We've disproved that earlier.
In time.
I'm talking about physical, brother. I'm not talking about time. Time is an abstract idea. I'm talking about the physical universe, brother. We agree that if it's expanding or if it had a big bang, a start, that this cannot mean it's eternal. Therefore,
it cannot be infinite in size. Right?
Yes, infinite in size, eternal.
In time.
I'm not talking about time. I'm talking about physical right now. Therefore, logically, it must have a start and it must have a creator. Because everything in existence, because you have to show me an example in the physical realm with something that started that does not have a creator. If you were to presuppose that.
Something doesn't have a creator?
Yeah, in this world.
I mean, almost. I mean, like whatever, rocks, sand. I mean,
how rocks come from sand?
Yeah.
Okay, where does sand come from? You see?
From other sand. Yeah.
Okay, where does that come from?
And so what?
You go back and back and back and back till the beginning of the universe.
Right, but you still go back in time, and so it's always been there, right?
No, I'm not talking about time. I'm talking about physical.
Okay. I mean.
Therefore, it must have a start.
No, why?
Because anything that is in existence must have came from a start. Unless it's infinite.
Okay, I can think like this, that there were the sand and the rock, and they've been before there were the sand and then the rock, then the sand and the rock, sand and the rock, forever and ever like this. That would be still a meaningful explanation.
No, that would be a argument that the universe is eternal. We said that it's not eternal.
No, it's not infinite.
It's not infinite, yes.
No, yeah, but I mean, still, if the size could be just small and keep.
That's infinite. We disprove that, brother.
No, you say infinite in size, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, you say the size
infinite
is
in size, infinite in physical properties, infinite in all of those aspects.
Okay, we say that. Okay, apparently I can agree with the fact that the universe is not infinite in size.
It's logical, yeah.
Infinite in size.
Yeah, even scientists agree with that.
No, it's not infinite in size.
Even in physical attributes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because most scientists believe in something called the Big Bang.
Right. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
But this is about the time. Okay. Fine.
There you go. So similarly, my point is that since the universe must have a start, we have a question mark.
Yeah, cool.
How did it start and from what?
But why does it need to start from something? Anyway, let's suppose that has to start.
Because it's not eternal.
Okay,
it's not
anyway,
infinite.
All right. Anyway, let's suppose. I mean, I know where this will go.
It's not infinite, right?
Let's suppose it started at some point. Then
Yes.
you say, fine. If it started at some point, should have been started by something else, right?
Yes.
Okay. And who started the something else?
We're saying the argument is that anything that is perpetually,
let's go with you. All right.
anything that. Brother, let me. You asked, right?
Okay, it started from zero, and someone else should have started. Okay.
Something else must have started.
Yeah. Okay.
We're saying that something that started it must have attributes. In order that you cannot tell me that, then who created that, and who created that, and who created that?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would mean it's infinite, and that would disprove the argument, right? So we're saying that something that created the universe must have innate properties, like being independent, like being eternal itself. Because if something dependent created the universe, that is something that is dependent and contingent, this must be independent.
Yeah. Okay.
For example,
Okay.
Are you following me?
I know you follow. So you say that this concept, the creator, right, should have attributes that are making infinite, powerful, blah blah blah, all this type of Anyway, this object, this concept you use, whatever it is,
whatever you want to call it.
All this.
Yes.
So this is what you use.
Creator, designer, anything.
Okay. And this is a concept, right? It's not a physical object, right?
No, this is a.
It's a concept.
No, if it was only a concept, the concept cannot bring about.
Why?
Can a concept affect the physical world?
Of course.
How?
Mathematics, politics,
Mathematics,
religion, love. I mean, of course.
Can 2 plus 2 affect this tree?
Of course.
How?
I mean, you can use science to impact. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. True.
Mathematics can impact me, a physical being, and I can impact this.
I mean, even your idea of God, how can God impact physical things? Should you do something physical, right?
Yes.
There should be a physical action.
And
right?
in the belief of that something that started the world, he can impact the physical.
I mean, I can use the mathematics. Do
you see the point?
I see, but you don't see mine. I see your point.
This creator, brother, Dimitri, let me finish.
You end up with a concept. You end up with this creator, which is a concept, because it's something that causes, is the initial cause. I mean, this is Aristoteles, right? I know, this is what you say in exactly the Aristotelic argument.
Okay.
The first motor, there should be infinite. Yeah, so this is the idea that there should be this something that started every
and it's independent and it's powerful. Okay, what are your...
This is a concept.
No, this is the idea that I'm proposing to you is conceptual, yes.
No, what
I'm saying that
is a concept.
I'm saying
it's
that
not a physical.
No, I'm saying that this something must be physical in nature.
Why?
Yes. Because if it's only conceptual, it cannot affect the physical nature. Similarly, 2 plus 2 in mathematics cannot, follow me, 2 plus 2 cannot affect the tree. 2 plus 2 conceptually can affect me, a physical being, which then affects the physical being.
Of course.
Are you following me?
I mean, of course, we know the concept can affect things through some medium, right?
Yeah. True and false cannot physically affect.
No. Okay.
That's conceptual.
Anyway, so what?
Are you following me, brother?
Yeah. But
God.
No. Wait. What you told me about creator, we ended up is necessarily a concept, because you say
the idea to bring to you
using this type of logic, right? If we assume that everything that exists should have a creation.
No, not assume. We establish that.
No, we don't establish.
We established it by using concepts like mathematics.
No, we don't.
How?
We
agree that zero.
We don't need that.
No,
right?
brother.
No, I agree with you that we can take this to me as a reasonable starting point. But I disagree that everything that exists should start from something.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, let's take it just for simplicity.
Yeah.
But I said even that doesn't lead to any supernatural being, other than being a concept. So you say everything that I cannot explain, right? I need to give it an external explanation, right? which is the creator, the all-powerful. But that only allow you to imply the existence of a concept. That this concept, you say, if in your way of thinking you need something to start and everything, this leave you, as you say, this notion of creation, initial, all-powerful. It is a concept, right?
Brother, the idea to drive you to that, that's conceptual.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, brother, let me finish. I'm telling you the thing.
Are concept,
I'm
right?
telling you the thing, something that started the universe.
Yeah.
That in itself is not a conceptual abstract thing. No. Because
this is where we are so far.
Let me explain to you why it couldn't be. Because something abstract cannot have a physical implication on the physical world. Brother, let me finish my point. Why do I say that? Something abstractual, conceptual like mathematics, 2 + 2, can never physically impact the tree. The concept and the abstract idea can impact me. I can understand it as a human, and then I can impact the tree. You understand? If the idea of the something was only conceptual and abstract, it can never have these attributes of making.
I can give you some examples.
Are you following me?
Yes, but
do you agree?
But I tell you why.
But do you agree?
No, because I tell you an example. Let's suppose that you are in love with someone, right?
Okay.
You would do things for a person who are in love, right?
Yes.
What is the physical action? What physical impact is giving you to push you to do things for someone out of love?
Love.
Yeah.
I mean, love can be identified scientifically, chemicals and endorphins.
Right. But I mean, if you want to. But there are things that induce people to act that are not physical, right?
Yeah.
Are conceptual.
No, they
right?
are physical. I love you. I love you as a human.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I want to give you a book out of love, I am going to give you this book. This is a gift, a Quran, free from me. If I give this to you because I love you, this is endorphins in my brain.
Of course.
Pushing me to...
You can always relate emotions to
Okay, so what's your
physical.
point?
I mean, my point is that there are evidence of actions induced by concept, right?
I agree with that, brother.
Yeah.
2 + 2 impacts me to write it on the board.
Right, but also there are emotions and things that lead you to things that those are not physical.
Brother,
right?
emotions, if you think emotions are only conceptual, you're not an atheist anymore, because atheists attribute everything to the nature. They're naturalists, mostly. So emotions are not abstract to you. Emotions are just chemicals firing in your brain.
Even abstraction, it relates to, even when you think mathematically, at the end there is some physical activity going on in your brain, right?
But those abstract things cannot affect the physical world.
Why not? Love, idealism, for example, religion, right? People out of religion do things, right? There are people that kill,
You assume that...
horrible crimes because of the religion, right?
Okay.
And so what is the point? I tell you, there are concepts they cause actions, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are concepts like religious that lead to action, right?
Yeah. Okay. Concepts. I'm following you. Concepts can indirectly lead a human to do a physical thing. I can agree with that. Yeah. But we're talking about the beginning of everything. That something cannot only be abstract and conceptual because this is not abstract. This is physical.
But anyway, no.
You feel me? You follow me?
I know, but you see, the point you want to explain the physical calling. Using a concept, right? And that there is a gap there. You can.
How?
This is why God is a belief, right?
Science in general is conceptual.
Yeah.
Is science physical?
Science is no.
Okay, and you derive all meaning from this tool of evidentiary works, right?
Meaning,
and this affects you similarly how religion affects people.
Of course, yeah.
I'm saying that something that started everything cannot be conceptual in nature only, because concept cannot create or bring into creation.
Why?
Because it's lacking a physical aspect to it.
Yeah, but this is a belief, right? It's not
what
you say is a belief.
We can arrive.
We
can arrive to this logically. For example, the iPhone. Can this ever be conceptually?
You come back to this example.
No, anyway, Dimitri, the reason why I do that is because these are examples we can understand. This is physical. This book never came about by just someone conceptually thinking about it. No, someone came, brought the paper from the trees and the ink from the octopus. Right?
Yeah.
So it was physically made. You understand? Similarly, if the world started from something...
Yeah. So, but it was a physical made, you see, by what? Another physical object, right? Someone with a physical...
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you have the phone, right?
Yeah.
This phone is dependent on something else. Like the glass on his phone would be dependent on sand, and then the sand would be dependent, let's say, rocks.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
because
let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then the rocks would be dependent on something else, and something else, and then it eventually goes all the way up to the Big Bang.
Yes.
And the concept of the Big Bang, it has to be dependent on something else.
Yes.
And if you keep on going further and further back, it can't go back to infinity. It has to end somewhere. There has to be a start.
And the reason why it can't go back,
First,
and the
it
reason
could
why,
go
brother
back to
Dimitri,
there is no reason why it shouldn't go back.
If it goes back to infinity, then we would not have started.
Dimitri,
But this is not true. Mathematically, it's quite known that you can add up infinity.
Dimitri, we already disproved infinity, me and you. Why are you going back to it?
No, I mean, he said it is not possible that infinity gives you something. I mean, you know that if you add up the numbers, you know, you can add up smaller
Yeah,
numbers and
abstractly.
give you something, or
Abstractly,
give you,
yes.
But
Brother Dimitri, if something was infinite, first of all, the idea of the expanding universe, that throws it in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason why it cannot be infinite, if the universe was infinite, how are you and I having this conversation now? This is proving that we are in a moment of time, which just proves infinity. If something was infinite, how do we reach this moment?
Infinity is a concept, right? Again,
no, I'm saying you're saying that infinite is the physical realm is infinite. You're saying that the universe is infinite.
I mean, infinity is. We said that there is nothing wrong in using infinity to explain something.
I agree, but I'm saying physically,
you cannot reach here
now.
Yes. If you are constantly infinitely going back, there's no way to reach now.
Yes.
Because then there's no start. How do we reach now?
Exactly.
It will infinitely go.
I think Dimitri, you know this. You are a wise sheikh. You know, sheikh in Arabic means someone of wisdom, an older gentleman, someone who has experience in life. You are a sheikh by the age and your wisdom and all, and the white hair, the beautiful white hair you have. So you understand this better than I do. Brother Dimitri, you know, how old are you? Let me guess.
50, I need to think about it.
Let me guess. 47.
No, more. 56.
Yeah? Listen, brother.
But anyway,
you know throughout your life, you know from your past experience, everything comes from something. The idea that there is no God, this is my point. I'm driving you to my final point. The idea that something that you throw everything that you've learned and observed throughout your whole life and do not apply it to the idea of God. This is you're being intellectually dishonest to yourself because you know that the iPhone, the book, the shirt, everything came from something. Therefore, the universe, because it's contingent, because it's dependent, because it's made up of parts, must come from something.
I mean, I know for you this analogy works. It's fine, but
are you a follower of science? Do you believe in science?
I do not believe in science. I use science. It's different, right?
Do you think it's the best way to reach truth?
It is a good way to reach truth. Yeah.
Scientifically,
it doesn't solve everything.
Yeah,
science usually doesn't tell you why. It tells you how.
It's a tool to drive you to truth.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And there are truths in the world. 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2 is 4. You're a male. She's a female. Right? These are truths. The universe is dependent. Therefore, a truth is that the dependent came from an independent. That's a truth.
But anyway, so I know in your way of thinking, listen, I agree. I see you're thinking that, as in analogy to everything that exists and has been created or born out of something, what you say, the universe, which you don't realize, you
observe physically, yes.
In your wording, there is a misunderstanding between universe as a concept. And
I've been saying physical the whole time. Physical.
But when you talk about universe, the way you use the word is partly a concept, partly anyway.
I mean physical.
Yeah, but anyway. Then you say, okay, that should be started by something else.
Yes.
But you see, the point, to me, that doesn't solve the issue, because
why not?
If you say to start something, right?
Yes.
To explain something that has no start, I invoke something else, then I could say, who created something else?
Well, I'll explain that to you.
And you say, okay, that's the answer. Is not created, right?
Yes.
And I could say the same about the universe. The universe is not created. And it would be exactly the same.
I'll explain to you why. So there are things. Wait, let me explain. You asked, right? You asked if you say this, then how do you explain this, right?
I know. I mean, all the attributes you give to the Creator, I could give them to the universe.
I'll explain to you why you couldn't. I'll explain to you why you couldn't. Because of the innate attributes of the universe. We explain how the universe is dependent. Wait, let me finish.
Right,
wait.
Why?
You explain that the universe is dependent. We explain that the universe is not infinite. We attributed all of these lesser things to the universe.
Yeah, because we assume that the universe is a physical object that we can measure.
It's not an assumption, it's a fact.
Yes, but then you invoke something else that is not a physical object that we cannot measure. So you're going from physics to metaphysics.
Yes,
this is a no.
Well, let me explain to you.
Metaphysics to physics, but this doesn't solve the physical world, right?
Let me try to bring it all together.
Yeah.
We explained that the universe cannot be eternal, cannot have a pre-eternal, post-eternal because of the examples we gave.
Yeah, okay.
And those examples are derived from the attributes of the universe. It's innate attributes.
Mm-hmm.
In turn, let me finish, please. In turn, God has innate attributes similar to the universe having innate attributes. Since we proved that everything in the universe is dependent and contingent, a truth, just like how you are a male, a truth is that something that is dependent must have come from and rely on something that's independent. This is a truth, similar to how you're a male.
But this is not a physical implication. It's a religion. It's a faith.
It's a conceptual. It's a conceptual. It's a concept. It's a concept similar to how.
But it's not physical, right?
Okay, so it's a concept driving you to physical.
I mean, but the physics tells you that everything which has a physical, every physical cause, every physical effect has a physical cause.
Okay,
right?
of course.
You're explaining
You're
explaining a physical object with something which is non-physical.
No, I never said that.
I mean, you say that
I said the creator cannot only be conceptual. That's what I said. It cannot only be abstract.
I think your issue is that you think God cannot be measured and all this stuff because God cannot be measured because that will imply that he's dependent on the laws of this universe. And to imply that God is dependent does not make him independent.
And it goes against his attributes.
What I say is actually, in order that, in your argument, to explain the physical world, right, which has some
Brother, I follow you.
attributes.
I follow you. You said it 4 times now.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm
so
saying,
you say,
I'm
you
saying
need to invoke something external, which is something which is non-physical,
I'm saying
right?
your your assumption that I say that the independent is only conceptual. I'm saying that's false. I never said that. I am saying that the independent that the dependent relies on is not merely abstract. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So your assumption, you've been attacking, you've been shooting a straw man for the past hour. I never said that. We're saying
what?
I never said that the independent is purely abstract and conceptual. I never said that.
And I didn't say that it's purely, right? I mean, no, I don't.
No, you've been saying. No, you've been saying that. You've been saying that something.
I don't say it's pure. I say that to explain. I mean,
you're saying that something.
You need to
abstract,
invoke something which is metaphysical. It's not physical,
no,
right? Because
I never said that. You said that. You've been saying that. I've been saying that the independent is only abstract and conceptual, and something that's abstract and conceptual cannot bring physical. You're saying that, right?
I mean, I say okay. I
haven't been saying that.
I didn't say the only part, but anyway, I said that that in your argument to explain the physical world, you invoke something which is metaphysical because you are.
How is it metaphysical?
Metaphysical means you attribute.
I know what it means. How is it?
Because you call it to be infinite, not cause.
But these are attributes.
Right? The attributes are metaphysical, right? Yeah.
Okay.
But metaphysical means they go beyond.
So the attributes of the universe are metaphysical as well, right?
The attribute of your creator.
The attributes of everyone is metaphysical because they're not physically.
No. Metaphysical. Metaphysical. I mean that you attribute to this object property which are not physical. Being
so the
infinite,
universe is not infinite, right? We agree.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so that's a metaphysical attribution to the universe.
No, the universe is physical because we say that. So if we use this logic, right? I say the universe is physical, right?
Yes.
So the universe is finite in time, in space.
Yes.
And so these are all the properties we can measure.
But you said the universe is not infinite, therefore you're attributing a metaphysical concept to the universe.
I say that.
You see my logic?
No, I said that universe. If we take universe physical, let you say in order to explain the physical of the physics of the world, I need to use something which has other attributes, being infinite, not cause, and not independent, be independent.
Okay, so what's the problem with saying that to the independent? What's wrong with that?
There is nothing wrong. Okay, I say you explain the physical, invoking something which is metaphysical, right?
Okay.
I mean, there is nothing wrong.
Okay, so what's your point?
I mean, no point, but there is no point. Just say
brother,
that
there is no point exactly. My point is
you can call you invoke something metaphysical. Yeah, but
therefore, brother Dimitri, uncle Dimitri, therefore the universe is dependent. a truth to that is that every dependent relies on an independent. That's why the creator must be independent to have started this.
If you assume that the universe was created, of course, the creator should not be...
That's not an assumption, it's a fact, because the universe is physical, limited, dependent, contingent.
Yeah, and so there is nothing wrong in being physical. Yeah, so why what doesn't have to be... Why?
You're saying that can only be true if you agree that the universe is created.
Okay, so if I assume, the universe is physical, right? And has all those attributes that you consider to be limitations. I mean, it is limited in the sense that it's bounded and all this sort of things, right? And then you say, okay, if I want to explain the origin of the universe like something that started from nothing, I can call something metaphysical, which is the creator, right? And the creator will be infinite, independent, and all these type of properties. Fine, but you're going in a realm which is not physical anymore.
You reach those conclusions not by mere abstraction. No, you reach those by observing and relating to what we see.
Yeah,
similarly,
but this is faith, right?
Brother Dimitri,
this
it's
is
not faith.
faith.
No, brother. Whatever you want to call
science,
it.
Right?
I'll show you how it is science. We can observe with our senses that the universe is not infinite by using a means of scientific. Similarly, we can derive the idea of an independent creator scientifically. Why? Because we prove that this world is dependent physically and in all ways, shapes and forms, by using scientific means. Therefore, we move from science maybe into some type of other field. We move into logic, for example.
It's called faith.
No, it's not faith. I'll tell you why it's not faith. Because anything dependent logically must rely on something independent.
So
right?
what is dependent in the physical world?
Do you agree that anything that is made up of objects is dependent? Like this phone is depending on me making it.
But this is an object, right?
Everything in the universe is dependent. There's nothing.
We've been there before.
The grass is dependent on the sun.
Yeah, okay.
The tree is dependent on the sun. You are dependent on food.
The sun is dependent on hydrogen. Hydrogen is dependent on something else.
So therefore, everything is dependent, brother. Therefore, everything that's depending must have an independent.
No, this conclusion is not science, right?
It's logic.
Okay, if you have infinitely dependent, where does it end?
There could be a circle, right?
No. It can't be a circle.
A circle, you're attributing something to infinity that's not there.
Yeah, look for example on Earth, right? There is a balance. That when you die, what you live, is used by comes back into circle, right? Yeah. So
no, brother, you're going into some hippie stuff. No. This is not scientific.
Of course not. No, there is a balance.
It doesn't agree with the science.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Even the scientists.
Brother, we agreed, brother. Everything we agreed that we can arrive to that point logically. Once we arrive there scientifically, we move to logic, which is what everything dependent must have something that they rely on, which is independent, right? Wait. Before you say something, brother, do you agree with me that everything dependent has something that's independent? Do you agree with that first?
Yeah. Everything dependent.
And we agree that the universe is dependent, correct?
No.
Explain. Is it independent?
I mean, dependent. What do you mean?
Is it independent that everything comes from itself and it does not rely on nothing else? If something is made up of parts, its nature is dependent. The universe is made up of parts, therefore the universe is dependent.
I know, dependent. What does it mean dependent?
I'll explain to you. Anything that's made up of parts depends on those other parts being together. For example, a pizza is dependent on all 8 slices being together, right? The universe is made up of parts, therefore it depends on each other. The grass depends on the sun depends on the chemicals, and it goes like that. Logically, everything dependent must have an independence. The universe is dependent, therefore it must have something to rely on that is independent.
Do you agree that...
Wait, brother, do you agree with that?
That there are parts which are interconnected and
that are dependent.
Yeah, they're
yes,
dependent.
They are interdependent on something independent.
I mean, on something independent. They are interdependent.
Anything that is dependent must have something independent, logically. Correct?
No.
Why? Give me an example of something that's dependent that does not have something. What does it depend on?
Like for example, let me think one example. For example, say that you are dependent financially on your parents, right?
Brother, you're going to abstract. I'm saying physically.
Okay, whatever. You're dependent on food, right?
Yes.
And the food is dependent on something else, right? And so all together, but there is nothing at the end, that is independent, right?
How?
It has to end somewhere.
Yeah, it has to end somewhere.
Where?
Or the
What
food
is
will
the
never
food
eat into my stomach.
Let me ask you something. What is the food dependent on?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a circle that repeats.
Go ahead. What is the food?
Yeah.
What
What is the food dependent on?
Yeah.
What is the
So,
food depending on?
I mean, ultimately on the sun, right? Yeah.
Okay, what does sun depend on?
Sun dependent.
And the sun on some reaction that created. Yeah.
Hydrogen, carbon, fusions, these things.
Now, what are these elements dependent on?
Yeah, you want to know. Yeah, there is a kind of physical processes
Okay.
that in the origin version they explain going
There's
back
not some
to.
cycle that just somehow carbon comes out of.
No,
That's
you
not how it
know,
works.
It comes from somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
where
I
does
mean-
these elements come from?
I mean, physics explain this, with this. In the theory of Big Bang, that everything was born
Everything
out at
comes
the
from
beginning.
Brother, you
Yeah.
agreed earlier, brother.
Yeah.
We
So-
have to agree on
so-
something, please, Dimitri.
Anyway,
We have to agree on
I
something.
mean, I know physics
Before
only
you-
explain up to a point, right? Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then
But we agree. Even we haven't left physics yet, brother. We're still on logic.
Yeah.
Everything dependent. The word dependent. It's
no,
wait, brother.
I mean,
Let me
the word
finish.
dependent.
The word dependent, in and of itself, relies on something. Another word called independent. Because if there's nothing that's dependent, if everything's dependent, what is it dependent
but
on?
you see, you're moving from physics to conception.
Logic.
Because,
I've been saying that.
no conceptual because
Logic, brother.
But independent
Logic is
not-
conceptual.
But independent is not physical.
Do you
right?
not use logic in your life?
I do, but but you can use logic to imply something. Which
Yeah.
is, I mean, you're moving outside the realm of physics.
I told you that we are. I said
Yeah,
I said we
yeah.
get to this point where, brother, look, we get to this point scientifically. Now we move from science to logic.
No,
We-
no. You're
brother,
moving
let me
science to faith.
let me explain something to you. We agreed that scientifically we reached a conclusion that everything is dependent scientifically. And then
Yeah, there is a chain of causes
Yes.
and effect.
Yes.
Okay, that we go back to
Yes,
a place
yes.
which is
we proved that this scientifically. Now we reached a point where we're talking about dependent and independent. These words, these concepts are abstractual ideas which come from what? Not science, from logic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're talking about logic now, right? In your logic that you follow day to day, anything dependent must be dependent on something. If something is dependent on something, this something cannot depend on that because it depends on it.
But they couldn't depend on each other, right? I'm well
If
aware
I
of
depend on
issues
you,
that
you
are
depend on
inter-
him, he depends on me.
Yeah, there could be a circle and it's all fine, right?
But we are all dependent, we're limited. This phone, can the phone depend on the glass and the sand on itself, or does it depend on the creator that made it? Me. I made the phone.
Yes,
it depends
but,
on me, right?
we
Or it would
go-
never
we-
be into existence,
But
right?
we go back to a situation where again there is a circle, right? That
No,
whoever
brother.
did this, you do
The
something.
the phone is contingent upon me making it. Similar, the world, the universe is dependent, and it requires something to make it, brother. Brother, take the idea of God away from your mind. You have some type of nasty. You don't like God. I don't know why, but forget God.
I know. I mean,
Think-
you can call it. I mean,
think-
I can go with God, but God doesn't explain the physics, right? Doesn't
You-
explain the
I don't wanna
physical
use- I don't wanna
things.
use-
It
I
is
don't
a-
wanna- I don't wanna
it is
use-
an abstract object that
I don't want to use the
yeah.
word God because we haven't even got there yet. We're talking about dependent and independent.
Yeah, we're talking about the creator, this first origin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you
the
agree,
first cause,
brother?
the
I want,
first cause.
I want to get somewhere with you. We agree that these things that are dependent must have a independent thing that they rely on. Because
they must have.
They must have.
They must have. This is the weak point because they must have in which sense, not in a physical sense.
in
right?
a logical sense, anything that's dependent must have something independent that it relies on. In a logical sense.
I mean, but
It's
this.
both physical and logical.
Yes.
Think
But it
everything
moves- but
in
it
this
moves-
Come,
universe.
Khadr.
Everything in this universe is composed of elements, right?
Yes. Yeah.
These elements are
All
dependent
right,
on
okay.
the Big
They all
Bang.
depend each other, right?
Okay, wait.
But-
let me
Go
finish.
ahead, Khadr,
The-
go
These
ahead.
elements are dependent on the Big Bang. What is the Big Bang dependent on?
I mean, could be, for example, that before the Big Bang there was nothing.
But
Nothing.
Khadr, we already described all of these like issues. Now we're at the basic level of dependent and independent,
I don't
right?
think he can wrap his head.
No, he
around
can,
it.
brother.
No,
Look
but
at
independent.
the white hairs.
I mean,
He's
no.
he's wise. He's wise. He's
Yeah.
wiser than me and
Anyways,
you.
let's
Brother
we
Dimitri,
go back.
we agree, brother Dimitri.
So we go back to a point
Yeah,
where
independent. Let's stick
where
there, please.
to a point where everything started, right? And at that point,
There's a
you could
dependent,
say,
and we need an independent. We have to agree on something.
no, the dependent, independent, the origin should be something independent. This is already moving into the realm of faith, right?
No,
Because-
not faith. Logic, brother.
No, logic.
Look,
why?
I'll explain to you why. This is dependent.
But this is not the correct. It's not a
Brother,
good analogy,
brother,
right?
if you follow me, you'll understand. This is dependent upon the person and the cotton and the factory, right?
Anyway,
But please,
we go back to
brother,
the Big Bang.
please let me
Right,
finish.
yeah.
This shirt is dependent on these factors. The mere idea of this being dependent means there's something independent that made it, right? We explain scientifically how the universe is dependent. Wait, please let me finish. We explain scientifically how the universe is dependent. We agree that it's dependent. We moved there.
The universe is a chain of interdependence.
Yes,
yes.
It's all dependent on each other, right?
Yeah.
We then moved from the realm of science to the realm of logic. We're now comparing dependent and independent things. Everything dependent or interdependent must then have a independent source because of the mere nature of dependency.
No, this is the point.
If you say no, you have to show me an example of how dependent things cannot have an independent thing. Go ahead.
There are situations where you can create interdependency, which are kind of circular, right?
How? Give me an example.
Let me see. There may be examples.
Okay, I have an example for you.
there are examples.
The water cycle.
For example,
the water cycle.
I want to hear his.
Oh, go ahead.
there are in nature. There are
want to help
examples of animals and beings. They live in.
Let's talk about the water cycle. How about that? Isn't that better?
Water cycle?
It recycles, right?
The water cycle.
The water comes from the rain, and then the rain goes to the river, and then the river goes up.
A source of energy still in that case, yeah.
So give me an example of interdependent things that don't have an independent source. Go ahead. It's not there because that's illogical. That's not logic.
No, it is logic.
Give me an example.
There are
Give an example.
interdependencies. Let's see, but
Go ahead.
I would like to see. Yeah.
Think. Go ahead.
They're mostly in humans, in societies,
No.
right? For example,
No.
economical systems
Physical, not abstract, not conceptual. Physically.
Abstract. You're already going into the abstract.
No, brother. Physically. You
Situation
know,
where there are interdependencies,
brother.
Yeah, so
you know, the mere look before an example comes, brother. Khadar, before the word, before example comes.
I need to be somewhere else, or I need to leave soon.
No problem. Before the examples come, look at the wording. There's dependent, there's interdependent. These words, they beg, they need something, which is the third word, independent. Am I right or wrong, Khadr? So something that is dependent, by the word itself, by the definition, that dependent depends, relies, lays on the independent. That's the definition of dependent. So
the definition of dependent, yeah. Right.
So if the universe is dependent, brother Dimitri, that means it relies on something independent. That's the point. Whether you want to call that God, whether you want to call it the force, but we have to agree that dependency is only dependent if it lays on independent. Or it wouldn't be dependent. It would be independent.
It could be interdependent, right?
Even interdependent, brother.
All right.
Even interdependent. They depend on the independent.
Interdependent.
They are all limited.
There could be some circular type of dependency.
Like
I
what?
think even like the circular argument that you have,
there could be
it could be dependent on something else. I can't
could
think
be,
of a
but
single
maybe
thing.
not.
I cannot think of nothing because
Even if you bring up
it's
money.
illogical.
Even if you bring up abstract stuff like money, where does the money come from?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve.
But an agreement, right? There is not something which is independent, right there, right? You establish an agreement, and the money circulates and is always there, right? That you don't need to.
No, but where did the money come from? The Federal Reserve, they printed it. And where did the printing come from? They came from the trees, and then the trees came, and then the ink, and then the ink, and then where did the trees and the ink come?
But
They came from...
it started from a concept, right? No, but it started from a concept. You agree that this piece of paper has a value and circulates, and we agree on that, right?
Okay.
So this is all.
Brother,
in the case
come
was
on.
pure concept.
Dimitri, please, brother.
But anyway, anyway,
you agree with me
physics,
that dependent things must rely on independent things. And
No,
you
not
agree
the
with
master
me,
lie.
brother. You agree. Let me finish. You agree that the universe is dependent. You agree that anything dependent must have an independent. Whether you want to call the independent thing God, I don't have a problem with you calling it whatever you want. But we have to agree on something before you leave because it was a good conversation.
Yeah, right. But anyway, so your point is actually things which are dependent necessarily require something which is dependent. Which I disagree. But let's take.
No. You can't disagree because it's logical. If you disagree, then you disagree with logic. Are you illogical?
Yes, I mean, it can be.
You're illogical?
I mean, because you make a jump, from something which is a physical to something which is not physical, which is faith. Because
We're not even talking about God.
I didn't say faith, brother. I said logic.
To something which is non-physical, because this idea that there is something that does not depend on anything else. What is the meaning of that? Right?
I'll tell you what it is.
I mean, it is a concept.
No. I'll tell you what it is.
It's purely conceptual, right? Because
Independent, brother. Independent and dependent. We agree they're conceptual. We agree that we left science now. We're in logic.
Yeah,
right?
we're at a conceptual level.
Okay, conceptually, logically, everything dependent has independence by its definition. We agree on that. Right or wrong?
I don't know.
Don't be scared, brother. Don't be
I'm not scared.
Brother,
I mean,
your brain is telling you yes. Why are you saying no?
I mean, there is a logical.
Brother, let's agree something. There's laws. There's physical laws in the world, right?
There are physical laws. It's not they don't exist. We use physical laws as a model.
For example,
Anyway.
there's a constant for gravity, right? Right? There's a constant. This is physically. We can test it.
We can measure. Yeah.
We can measure it. We can test it.
Yeah.
This is a.
But the dependency is not something we can measure, right?
Yes, we can. I'll tell you why.
No, you can imply logically, but you're moving to a different.
How do you measure? How do you see if logic is true? You test it, right? For example,
but you cannot test.
I'll tell you how we can test it. The law of contradiction. This is logical, right?
I mean, if you take two contrapositive.
Yes, this is logical. It's not scientific.
But you can say white and non-white, but white the opposite. If white and non-white, but there might be
no, brother.
colors.
I'm saying that the law of contradiction is logical. It's not scientific. For example, the Christians say Jesus is man. Man is limited in knowledge, but he's also God, and God is unlimited in knowledge. This logically is a contradiction. You see, because how can someone be logical, fully logical, and limited at the same time? That's a contradiction. So therefore, we proved something using logic. Similarly, dependent things, logically, little dominoes. Look, you know dominoes, right? When you push them, they're all dependent on what's before it, hitting it. But that first falling domino never will fall because it depends on something independent pushing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Therefore, we prove independency and dependency logically. You see, you agree.
Yeah, of course. In
of
the
course.
case, you observe a physical effect and you induce a physical cause.
Yes, and then you induce that there's something called dependent. There's something called independence.
Yeah.
Okay, so you agree with independency and dependency.
In the realm of physical causes and effects.
Yes. Okay. We agree, but scientifically the universe is dependent. And now we agree. Now we agree that logically.
No, the universe is dependent.
Brother.
That there are effects that are dependent on others.
Brother,
but the universe is a concept. Yeah.
Brother, I'm talking about the physical. We said the physical.
Yeah, the physical object.
We said the physical universe is dependent. And then we said
there are physical universe. Yeah, but you.
Yes, but brother Dimitri, please let me finish.
Universe to the concept.
Let me finish my point, and then you can say. We agreed that the physical universe, not the conceptual, the physical universe is dependent. Scientifically, we proved that. Then we moved on to logic, and we agreed that there is something called dependency and independency, independence. And we agreed on that everything dependent must have something independent.
Yeah, in physical chains.
In logic, yes. And now we can agree, using logic and science, that since the universe is dependent, it must have an independent source. You don't have to call that God, but you need to acknowledge that we met somewhere, we reached something.
So because you see there is, I think, an issue there, because you oscillate between physical objects and concept, because when you talk about object universe and talk about the universe, and the universe so you jump from object in the universe with physical causes and the universe as a concept as being caused by something else, right?
Okay, what's the problem with that? We married science and logic right now. Like the dominoes, brother, Dimitri.
Right.
If the dominoes, I push the dominoes.
But there is not a physical cause. I mean, okay. The point.
Logic is applied in the physical world.
So there are events to which you say, okay, there should be a physical cause. But which event are you referring to?
I'm referring to the independent event.
But which events?
The independent event that started it. Like me pushing the dominoes is physical.
So you say that this supposed origin of the universe, the Big Bang, so there should be something that made it start.
Yes.
This is what you say.
Yes, because logically everything else in the universe has an independent that starts everything.
Okay. Anyway, and this is.
Do you agree?
No, I agree that if you want to use this explanation, this will fall into the area of faith because.
How is it faith? Listen, brother, you can call it faith, you can call it logic, you can call it whatever you want.
Because it's not physical, right?
Is logic physical? Is logic physical?
No.
Okay, so why are you having a problem with something being conceptual?
No, it is. Yeah, it is logical using in the realm of metaphysics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, brother, Dimitri, follow me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The dominoes, right?
Yeah.
Brother, please.
No.
The dominoes is physical.
Yeah.
I use my logic
Yeah.
on the physical world. I say that if I push this...
But this logic is, okay, I need to really...
Brother, I need to finish my example first.
Yeah, I know your example, but you see, your logic works in the special context. There are other situations that you cannot see where the logic is not valid, right?
Okay, show me one example in the world where something dependent does not have an independent. We tried that earlier. You didn't say nothing.
Yeah, but they're not dependent.
Brother, we agreed that. We agreed that everything dependent has an independent.
No, we agree that every visible effect should have a cause, right?
Okay,
but
you're playing semantics, brother.
No, I say to say that the cause, cause is unknown.
Brother Dimitri.
Okay, good. But to say that the cause is unknown, or that the cause is something that is this concept with a lot of attributes makes no difference to me, right?
I want to establish dependency and independency first.
Okay,
I didn't talk about anything else.
Okay, but I could say...
I said that, please, brother. I said that everything dependent has something independent.
Yeah.
And we have to agree on this point before you move on.
Okay.
Okay, do you agree? Listen, because I have to go soon as well.
I really need to go because I
have to go as well. Listen, brother. Everything dependent leans on the independent. Do we agree on that before you leave?
I'm not sure, right? Yeah.
The dominoes.
Yeah,
can the dominoes fall without me pushing it?
No, but that example may not be valid when you apply to other situations.
Okay,
right?
Can the water fall without a cloud?
Yeah, but you see, there are. For example, you know very well, even in physics.
Brother, can the water fall without a cloud? Can you come without your parents? No. It's all dependent. You see, we have to agree before you leave.
Yeah.
Listen, we have to agree. Everything dependent has independent, brother.
Listen, can you walk through the wall?
Yeah, if I'm strong enough, yeah.
No, can you walk through the wall without
No, that's physically impossible.
Yeah, but there are, but at the level of quantum physics, particles can go through walls, right?
Brother, you're not...
Because the rules
brother,
are...
quantum physics is not even established science yet.
It is, yeah.
No, it's not. It's not even fully developed yet, brother.
No, it is.
No, it's not. Brother.
The logic you apply...
Do you know what's established?
Yeah.
Logic, right? Everything dependent has something independent. That's established, right? You agree that everything...
I do not agree that the universe is dependent in the sense that you say.
But do you agree that the universe is... You don't agree that the universe is dependent?
No.
So it's independent? It relies on itself?
I say that neither do the statements are true, right?
So where do you live? Where do you live? You live in space?
No. The universe
brother,
is a concept.
Okay, listen.
Anyway,
I had a good conversation. Brother,
I had a good conversation. We may continue some other time.
I enjoy the
but
conversation.
I know where you're going, but I have nothing wrong with your idea
brother,
that you need to have a creator.
I love this conversation, bro. And are you going to come here again? It's Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, I work here, so yeah, I'm a math professor, yeah.
Okay, listen.
So anyway, listen. I understand. I have nothing. I agree with you.
We reached somewhere.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning you were very far away. Now we're on independency.
Right. But I see your point.
We made progress, right?
I see your point, but what I think is this misunderstanding, a different point of view, is that, in my opinion, you jump from the physics to the abstract, right?
Yeah, and I told you I am.
And in fact, when you talk about the creator, you are not in a physical world. Then you say, this concept, what to me is a concept, for you has also physical impact.
I want to end. To explain the physics, to explain the physical world, we use logic and we use reason to explain it. That's
right,
why.
But
that's why
wrong. We may be wrong.
But please let me explain. That's why we agreed on things like dependency, independency. We agreed that there's something called the law of contradiction. That something cannot be red and green at the same time. These are logical conclusions that we observe from the physical world. Similarly, I want to please finish so we can go. and the physical, and similarly, we agree that the universe is dependent because of its nature, and we agree using logic that everything dependent must have an independent. You don't have to call that God. This is a gift from me to you. This is the Quran. This is a gift for free, no problem. And I'm gonna come back and we can talk
listen,
more.
I'm not gonna read it, right? Because I know I'm not gonna have time to.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? This is something, brother. A gift. We became friends now, right? Right? What's my name? What's my name? Khalid.
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 Khaled,
yeah.
Khaled.
Yes, and your name,
like
Dimitri.
Khaled Gilbram.
Yes.
Yeah.
We became friends now, right? This is a gift for me.
Okay.
This is a gift from your friend Khalid, and to you.
All right, next time we'll continue.
And this you can read it because you're a logical person.
If I have to read, where shall I start?
You start from the beginning, you start from the middle, start from wherever you want. But I just want you to read some of it or all of it. This is a gift from you. And I hope you do.
How does it start?
Yeah, no, this is nothing like the old.
There is something. Yeah, I watch. There is the TV series End to Grow.
Yeah.
Where they, when they sit at the table, they always start reciting.
Yeah. I think that's like a Christian, like when they
start eating and say
Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yeah. What does that mean? This means in the name of God, the most merciful. These are prayers. But
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Ar-Rahman. What does Ar-Rahman mean?
I read it.
It means the most merciful.
It's possible that in the Turkish they say, I remember like Irrahami. I remember it sounds a little different. Irrahami, not Aram. Is Arraham you say? Okay.
They might have like dialects.
Because maybe use
accents.
a different accent there.
Yeah. And they have some words that are similar.
By the
but
way,
different.
I read that the Arabic is a language with a very rich vocabulary.
Oh yeah.
It's like
I'll give you one fact. English is made up of about 150,000 nouns.
Yeah.
Arabic has about 16 million.
Yeah, I know. Okay, maybe not so much, but I know there's
it's a very rich language.
It's a very rich language, right? But English is still among the Western languages as a rich vocabulary.
It's dominant, but it's not rich when you compare it to Arabic or Chinese or Mandarin. No, it's not at all.
No, Mandarin is quite poor. Chinese is not rich. It doesn't have a rich.
How many nouns does it have?
I don't know, but it's not rich because
when you compare it to Arabic, English.
From what I read, Arabic has probably one of the richest vocabulary.
Yeah, it does. Read the Quran, and I'm gonna take your number so we can meet again. Okay? Thank you, Dimitri.
Anyway, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
continue some other time.
Thank you, brother.